Morning YouTube, this is Earl from Virginia. I'm along the banks of Back Creek in Gainsboro, Virginia. And actually, this is, I got a lease, not really a lease. I belong to a hunting club and shooting range and hunt club. Winchester, Frederick County and hunt club. And it encompasses about 280 acres. Probably hear the guns going off in the background. About 280 acres, which the bulk of which is in behind this ridge right behind me. It swings all the way over to the left, follows the creek, and goes. The creek goes on around, swings around towards the north along the road, 600, and the bulk of the hunting property is back in there. What led me to this location is the other day, my last day turkey hunting. Just about 20 feet from my truck, I found something that caught my eye, and it's a piece of flint. And basically, up on top of the ridge, it's nothing but a shale bed. But the piece I found was this one right here. And why did it get my attention? Well, if you look at it closely, up here on the edges, focus, man. I think it's notched. I think it's been notched. Can't really tell there. There was a tip here, and if you can tell, the tip has been broken off. There's a slight bit broken there. It's got a nice little, sweet little beveled edge. Now, what leads me to believe it may not be anything is the fact that it's got a huge stack on the back right here, and there's no edge work at all on this side and all the way up the length there. But if you're a right-hander and put this thing in the palm of your hand like this, focus, man. This thing works great as a little cutting tool. It's got a straight edge up to about where my finger is right here, and then it's serrated up on the bottom. Well, like I said, why did it catch my eye? Because it was a shale bed. Up on top of that ridge is nothing but shale. This is laying on the bank of a road cut about 20 feet from my truck, which is at the highest point of the ridge up there. My question is this a tool of some type, or is it just a rock? What else did it lead me to? Well, I got on the internet when I got home, and I just looked up Indian artifacts in Winchester, Virginia. And actually, right this very second, we are right here on the crook of this creek. 600 goes here, and 522 goes here, and it's off to my left that way. 522 is that way. And what's pretty cool is there's a bridge they put in right here where the creek, there's a railroad track comes down, railroad track comes down, and then the creek goes underneath the railroad track and under 522 and then swings into this property. Right here where this area is at, in 1969, there was a dig for an Indian site. The post since then named it Fout site, but it was a Chert quarry workshop, first used in the early archaic period. And basically, here's a little more information. The workshop location where Chert was produced, reduced to cores and some finished points. Later labeled as the Fout site, was destroyed when Virginia Department of Transportation expanded US 522. Fortunately, the site was excavated by archaeologists before the highway bridge over the creek was built. Though the information from 1969 dig was not formally published till 1996, imagine that, 27 years. But what's funny is, then I started panning down, and some of the points that they were shown for early archaic are these right here, which Dalton Cumberland points, and I think these are Palmer's and Kirk's and Notch points. Well, I know it's not exactly truly pointed like that, but it could have been the beginnings of something like this, or maybe just playing around, or even something to this stature. But it was kind of funny. Here I got a point I was trying to get an ID on. Did a little internet surf, and here's the creek, and below is the picture. And again, here's my point. Now the question is it just a rock, or is it a tool? You guys give me some feedback. I do believe the flint site was here. If you look around, all around here, there's some nice sized pieces of flint. There's one buried there. Some bigger pieces. There's one there. Pretty decent. Nice flat sides, good color. Although they are veined, the flint's veined. There's a bigger chunk there. It's got a little bit of iron ore in it as well. But all in here along this creek bed, there's flint just scattered everywhere. Here's another piece of flint right there. And it's just big old chunks of it are everywhere. There's a nice sized piece, one there, another one there. Small piece there with some veins, quartz veins in it. Looks like they're just veins. Another chunk there. Another chunk there. Chunk there, chunk there. Huge chunk right there. And it's just all along this riverbank, or I should say creek bank, all the way down. Sorry I had to start back up, but the camera stopped there for a second. But along with it, oh, here's a nice little piece of flint. Sun might be too bright. It's got some rough core ends, but the bulk of the block is just basically a square block. Nice smooth flat edges. It was great. Break it down and probably make some great points. But while hunting, I spotted this. Don't know if it's nothing. You guys give me an idea. The texture of this thing is as smooth as a baby's butt, but it's almost reminds me of like a worry stone or something, man. This thing's got a full indent here. You flip it over to the other side, it's got a full indent in there. It's got a nice smooth. There's one rough edge right there in the corner where I think it's a creek break right there. But the rest of this thing, focus, man. The rest of this thing is just as smooth as could be. And you see about the size of it. Reminds me totally of a worry stone. But give me an idea on this one as well. Is this just a rock? Is it a fossil? Man-made? Or just junk? And finally I came across what I think is a pretty good fossil. I'm not sure. It looks like some kind of a worm or vertebrae or something. It was there. You can barely see it, but across here is another. Across that zone right there is another smaller one, in imprint of a vertebrae. And right there on top of my thumb is the shell imprint. So that was kind of cool. Picked up a nice little fossil. But thought I'd share a few of my finds and shared some info on the site, Fout site. And this is basically a hunting property. Up behind those buildings up there is a gun range where you shoot pistols and rifles and shotguns. And during bow season, there's a range over there where you can sight in your bow, do some target practice over in there. And pretty cool little place. Thought I'd give a chance at finding some arrowheads. Didn't find any arrowheads, but like I said, found a few little whatnots. And you guys give me some feedback. I appreciate it. This is Earl from Virginia, and y'all have a good day.